You know what's crazy? Most people spend their entire lives chasing money without ever stopping to ask how much money they actually need. Seriously, think about it. A person could probably live a peaceful, comfortable life with a few $1 million invested wisely. No alarms, no toxic boss, no panic every month about bills, just freedom, time, peace of mind. And yet, people still want billions, not millions, billions. Why? Because at some point, money stops being about survival. It becomes emotional. It becomes about status, power, fear, legacy, the feeling that your bloodline will never struggle again. And honestly, I understand it. I really do. Because deep down, almost everybody wants security. But there's a dangerous line where ambition quietly turns into greed, and nowhere does that happen faster than in trading. The stock market has this strange way of bringing out the deepest parts of human nature: hope, fear, ego, impatience, addiction, greed, especially greed. And if you've ever traded before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because trading is one of the only places on earth where a person can make a month's salary in a few minutes and still feel disappointed. That's the scary part. You can literally win and still feel like you lost. I remember seeing those compound interest calculators for the first time. You know the ones. Start with $200, make 5% per day. Do it for 250 trading days. And suddenly the numbers become insane. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. You sit there staring at the screen thinking, wait, is this actually possible? And for a moment, your whole brain changes. You stop thinking about normal life. You stop thinking about jobs. You stop thinking about retirement. Because suddenly the market feels like an escape hatch, like maybe, just maybe, you found the secret nobody told you about. And honestly, that dream is intoxicating. The idea that a small account could completely change your life, that's why so many people get obsessed with trading. It's not just about money, it's about hope. Hope that your current life is not permanent. Hope that one breakthrough changes everything. But what nobody tells beginners is this: the math is easy, the psychology is impossible. That's the real game, not charts, not indicators, not candlestick patterns, your own mind. Every trader remembers their first real win. You enter a trade, your heart is racing, the stock moves in your direction, you make money, real money, and suddenly nothing feels the same anymore. Because now the market feels real, you start imagining possibilities. What if I can do this every day? What if I finally escape financial stress? What if this is my way out? And honestly, that moment can change a person emotionally, especially if you grew up watching people struggle financially, especially if you watched your parents stress over bills, especially if you spent years feeling trapped. The market starts looking less like numbers and more like freedom. But then something dangerous happens. Your expectations change. Making $50 no longer feels exciting. Then $100 stops feeling exciting. Then $500 feels too small. And greed slowly starts taking control without you realizing it. Because greed is sneaky. It never announces itself. It disguises itself as ambition. This right here is what destroys most traders emotionally, not losses, regret. You sell a trade in profit, you feel good, proud even. Then the stock keeps going up, and up, and up. Now suddenly the money you made feels meaningless. You made $100. but the trade eventually moved enough for you to make $2,000, and now your brain starts torturing you. If I just held longer, if I trusted myself, if I didn't sell, that feeling is brutal. And the worst part? Nobody talks about how emotionally painful it is, because logically you know you made money, but emotionally, it feels like failure. I've seen traders spiral because of this, not because they lost money, because they couldn't handle the idea of missed money, and then the next trade becomes emotional. They hold too long, they ignore their exit plan, they become greedy trying to catch the big one, and suddenly a green trade turns red. Then the losses get bigger. Then revenge trading starts. Then confidence disappears, all because they couldn't emotionally accept taking a good profit. That's why trading is mostly psychological. The market exposes emotional weakness like nothing else. Do you know what the most dangerous thing in trading is? It's not volatility, it's not bad news, it's not market crashes, it's overconfidence. Because after a few wins, traders start feeling invincible, and that feeling is deadly. You start increasing position sizes, ignoring risk, breaking your own rules. You convince yourself, I know what I'm doing now. And the market humbles you immediately. Every experienced trader has gone through this cycle. Win, confidence, greed, overconfidence, big loss, pain, reset. The market is brutal at attacking ego. That's why some of the smartest people still fail at trading, because intelligence alone is not enough. Emotional control matters more. You know what took me the longest to understand? Small profits are beautiful, seriously. There's something peaceful about taking your profit and walking away, not chasing, not forcing trades, not trying to become rich before lunch, just consistency. That sounds boring, until you realize boring is what actually works. Social media ruined trading expectations. Everybody posts the giant wins. Nobody posts disciplined exits. Nobody posts the boring green days. Nobody posts the days they protected capital. But survival is the real flex in trading. Anybody can get lucky once. Very few people can stay profitable emotionally over years. That's the hard part. Not making money, keeping your mind stable while making money. Most traders don't lose because they're stupid. They lose because they can't control themselves. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. The market becomes emotional very quickly, especially when real money is involved. Fear changes people. Greed changes people. A person with a $500 account suddenly starts trading like they manage a $1 billion hedge fund. Huge position sizes, no stop losses, holding and praying. And eventually, one trade wipes out everything. I've seen it happen over and over again. The craziest part? Many traders actually have decent strategies. Their entries aren't terrible, but they size too big, or stay too long, or refuse to take small losses. And one emotional decision destroys months of progress. That's why risk management sounds boring, but saves accounts. One of the hardest lessons I ever learned was this: you do not need to catch every opportunity. The market will always create another setup, another breakout, another trend, another move. But when traders become desperate, they start behaving irrationally. They force trades out of boredom. They revenge trade after losses. They chase candles after huge moves. And every emotional decision slowly drains the account. Sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. That takes maturity to understand, especially in a world addicted to constant action. At the end of the day, most people don't actually want money. They want what money represents: freedom, time, safety, the ability to breathe without stress, the ability to wake up without fear. That's the real dream, not Lamborghinis, not screenshots, not fake internet lifestyles. Peace. And ironically, the traders who become obsessed with getting rich fast usually destroy themselves emotionally, but the traders who focus on discipline, patience, and survival, they slowly build something real, not overnight wealth, real wealth, the kind that lasts. So no, greed is not always bad. Sometimes greed is the reason people escape poverty. Sometimes it pushes people toward a better life. But uncontrolled greed, that destroys traders every single day. The market rewards patience far more than excitement, and eventually every trader reaches a moment where they must decide, do I want quick dopamine or long-term freedom? Because those are usually opposites, and maybe that's the biggest lesson trading teaches us about life itself. The people who survive the longest are usually the people who learn when enough is enough. And honestly, that lesson might be worth more than money itself.